Welcome back to our special live coverage to honor Officer Adam Jobbers Miller. I'm Patrick Nolan coming to you live outside the Gendron Funeral Home here in Fort Myers. You see a fire truck there along with the hearses, and there's also a police vehicle just behind it. We've seen some activity here throughout the day. We're keeping our distance. We're set up across the street. We want to be able to give the department and especially the officer's family their privacy and respect during this very difficult time. We also know that you want to know when those funeral services might be held. The police department telling us they're working on getting that together. They're looking for a venue, they said, that would be suitable enough. And as soon as they get that information to us and we confirm it, we'll share it to you. But it's most likely at this point going to be tomorrow. As you probably know by now, Officer Jobbers Miller died over the weekend. He passed away around 5 o'clock on Saturday evening, exactly a week after he was shot at the Marathon gas station on MLK Boulevard in Fort Myers. And Weisner Desmarais, the suspect in the case, is being held in the Lee County Jail tonight on no bond. We've also learned new information tonight that Lisa Greenberg has been combing through the police report. There is body cam footage of this tragic accident, and we're learning the write-up from the police report, Lisa, is that the officer's own weapon was used against him after he was allegedly struck by this suspect.
Yeah, as you said, all of this was captured on body cam video. We also had a witness who told police when they interviewed this witness afterwards that they watched as Desmarais, this is according to a witness, shot Officer Jobbers Miller in the head at close range. So I've been combing through this report for the last hour and a half or so, wanting to bring you some new information from what we haven't heard prior to today. And there's a lot of devastating details in this report, a lot of heartbreak in this report. I know you and I had talked about when we were reading it in the car on the way here, and it's heartbreaking, even for people who don't know him. So I do want to give you a couple more details about that. Patrick had mentioned that he was at the Marathon gas station and fled to Flint Boulevard, or Flint Drive, which is right nearby the gas station. Once he was there, that's where Officer Jobbers Miller and another officer made contact with him. When Desmarais tried to flee, Officer Jobbers Miller was able to catch up. The report says the suspect slowed his pace, then hunched towards the officer. The officer fell back when Desmarais hit him. This is according to the report. That's when the suspect is seen on body camera video reaching down, pulling the gun from the holster of Officer Adam Jobbers Miller, and within seconds firing a shot. The report says the body cam video showed Officer Jobbers Miller fall back to the ground with the sound of a second shot being heard on that body camera video, and then a third shot with the suspect yelling multiple profanities, also saying, quote, "Come on, let's shoot it out." The report says he then fired 3 more shots, and it also says that the other officer with Jobbers Miller that night said the suspect also tried to fire a shot at him. He had to actually jump out of the way to avoid being hit by that bullet. That's why Desmarais is being charged with attempted first-degree murder. And we're also learning, as you just mentioned a few minutes ago, that Officer Jobbers Miller passed away at 5:14 on Saturday, exactly a week after he was shot in this incident.
And so many of us were holding out hope that somehow there would be a miracle. I'm sure that sense, I know I felt it myself day after day when they weren't releasing any new information, remained in intensive care, how agonizing that was for the family to be nearby.
Absolutely, and all of us, I think we kind of had been hoping that we weren't hearing new information because maybe no news is good news, so to speak, but I think it made it even harder when we did hear that he passed away on Saturday. And I'll have more on this report tonight on Fox 4 News at 10. I will also bring breaking down a second-by-second timeline of what happened that night.
Oh, and there's just so many what-ifs, Lisa, at this point. We appreciate your work. We know that you've been very closely associated with the story ever since you started working on it when it happened that Saturday night.